जो उसकी मदर है वो भी इंग्लैंड,
ओके।
उनकी जो मदर है वो भी इंग्लैंड से आई हैं, तो ये लोग बहुत ज्यादा सिविलाइज्ड हैं, क्योंकि इनके दिमाग में यही बात मतलब इनको यही बताया गया कि आप जो है अनसिविलाइज्ड हो। इस वजह से जो इंग्लैंड से लोग आते हैं वो बहुत ज्यादा सिविलाइज्ड होते हैं, और जितने
वेरी गुड।
कॉलोनाइजर्स हैं वो बहुत ज्यादा सिविलाइज्ड लोग हैं।
Great. I need one more response from the class and then we'll move ahead. One more response. Thank you,
मैम
Maha.
उसके बाद जो राहिल और एस्ता की जो मदर है उसके डाइवोर्स का बताया हुआ है कि कैसे उसकी उसकी और उसके फादर की डाइवोर्स होती है। वो मतलब वो जो एक उसके बाद उसके जो लवर था उसके बारे में, विलो था, उसके बारे में बताया गया है कि किस तरह उस पर इल्ज़ाम लगा के उसको प्रिजन में जो है वो पकड़ लेते हैं। फिर उसके अलावा उनकी जो डाइवोर्स के बारे में बताया है कि जो उसका बॉस था, मिस्टर मैथ बॉस था,
Yes.
सॉरी मैं नाम भूल गई उसका,
Okay, Mr.
मिस्टर
Matthew.
हॉलिक्स। वो
That
हॉलिक्स
was,
उसका
हाँ,
बॉस,
boss. Yes, boss,
जो
the
उसके
boss.
हस्बैंड का बॉस था, किस तरह वो जो है उससे अपनी मतलब उसकी बीवी को एक रात रहने के लिए बोलता है, लेकिन वो जो है अम्मू नहीं मानती, तो उस वजह से जो है उनकी डाइवोर्स हो जाती है। जो एस्ता को है उसके फादर ले जाते हैं और राहिल जो है वो अपनी मदर के पास ही रहती है।
Okay, very good. Excellent. So you do understand the novel. Okay, now you have a good understanding of the novel. That's great. So we have done two chapters yesterday, and I have introduced the main characters to you. You know that our main characters are the twins, Rahil and Esther. Today we are going to do the third chapter, but keep in mind that whatever we are going to study, we have to critically analyze it through post-colonial theory. Okay? So let's start chapter 3, which is titled as Big Man the Laltain, Small Man the Mombatti. Have you ever heard, mostly in Urdu speaking and Punjabi language, we do hear these terms like Big Man the Laltain. Have you heard it? Anyone in the class? Big
Yes,
Man the
ma'am.
Laltain. So what are the meanings of these? I know the meanings, but why do we use these? Significance. I mean, what is the significance of this?
मैम मे बी ऑफ हाइट।
Okay, good.
Ma'am, to show the status of someone.
Okay, very good. So big man is the Lalten and small man, the Mombatti. Okay, this is the title of our third chapter, which is somehow very much related to the title of our novel, that is The God of Small Things. Okay, I'm going to start chapter 3. I hope I have shared my screen with you. I hope it is visible to you. Yes?
यस मैम।
Okay. So we know that Rahil is coming back, okay, to Imenam once again. And we find that Esther has recently come back to Imenam too. And at their home, who is living now, who is left and alive, the only person left in their family is baby Kuchama, who is their mother's aunt. Okay, she is living in the Imenam house. So Rahil, or the narrator, is telling us filth had laid siege to the Imenam house like a medieval army advancing on an enemy castle. It clotted every crevice and clung to the window panes. So she is telling us that the Imenam house is not very neat and clean. The only left member of the family, she's not taking care of the house. Why, girls, why do you think that she's not taking care of the house? Baby Kuchama, why is she not making the house neat and clean and tidy? Anyone? Because her own life is disturbed. Okay, the disturbed condition of the house, which is not neat and clean and tidy, is a reflection of her own life, because she is not happy with her life. She has a failure or a dejected love affair. Okay, she used to love a father who did not respond to her, and she's heartbroken. So this house is a reflection of baby Kuchama's her own life. Okay, so we find that the floor was sticky. White walls had turned an uneven gray. Brass hinges and door handles were dull and greasy to the touch. Infrequently used plug points were clogged with cream. Light bulbs had a film oil on them. So this is the whole situation of the house, that each and everything is in a bad condition. Even the bulbs, they had a film on them, film of oil and dust. The only things that shone were the giant cockroaches that scurried around like varnished gophers on a film set. Baby Kuchama had stopped noticing these things long ago. Kuchu Maria, who noticed everything, had stopped caring. Now, baby Kuchama, she doesn't even care about these things, okay? There is only one person who could take care of these things, the maid of the house, Kuchu Maria, but she doesn't even, because she is a maid, she is a paid a person, okay? Why would she take care of these things when the owner is not taking care of these things? So these ladies have only one task to do, and the task is to sit in the TV lounge and watch different movies and dramas. Okay. The whole day they are busy in this one activity to watch television. The chaise lounge on which baby Kuchama reclined had crushed peanut shells stuffed into the crevices of its rotting upholstery. In an unconscious gesture of television-enforced democracy, mistress and servant both scrabbled unseeingly in the same ball of nuts. Kuchu Maria tossed nuts into her mouth. Baby Kuchama placed them decorously in hers. Now, even though both of them are very much involved in the movie, okay, both are eating from the same bowl of the nuts, but you can see the way baby Kuchama is eating. Her ways are refined ways because she is educated, okay? So she is placing the nuts in her mouth decorously. While on the other hand, we find Kuchu Maria, she is just tossing the nuts into her mouth, okay? So this is the situation of the Iminam house these days when there is no one left. And only now baby Kuchama is there, Rahil and Esther. They have just returned back to this house. Okay, we will move ahead, a little ahead when we find that Rahil is saying, Rahil is thinking about her school days. She's nostalgic when she has come back. Okay, whatever she sees, it takes her back into her childhood days when she was here living with her mother and her brother. Okay, big man, the lantern, small man, the tallow stick, huge man, the strobe lights, he omitted to say, and small man, the subway station. The masters would haggle with him as he trudged behind them with the boys' luggage, his bowed legs further bowed, cruel schoolboys imitating his gait. Balls in brackets, they used to call him. Now, these are the words through which the schoolboys, they used to bully Esther. Okay, and Rahil used to notice these things, and she was always uncomfortable that her brother is getting bullied by other fellows of the school. Then Rahil is sitting there, okay, and Esther comes. So let's see how does baby Kuchama responds. Baby Kuchama looked up from the television. Here he comes, she announced to Rahil, not bothering to lower her voice. Now watch, he won't say anything. He'll walk straight to his room. Just watch. Now baby Kuchama senses that Esther has come home. She tells Rahil, now look at your brother. He will come and he will not utter even a single word, and he will go straight to his room. Okay, so when Esther comes, Rahil goes behind him and she sees his room. Now there is a huge contrast in the room of Esther and the whole house, which is taken care by baby Kuchama, right? The room of Esther is very, very clean. Okay, so this is a type of comparison in this one room, which is a part of this house, which is very much dirty. Okay, so Rahil is saying the obsessive cleanliness of the room was the only positive sign of volition from Esther. Because I told you yesterday that Esther doesn't speak anymore. Okay, there are two main reasons behind that. I told you that he was molested by the Orange Man and the Drink Man. This was traumatizing for him. And then there is another incident that was that they asked him to be the witness that he is the one who has tried, Veluta is the one who has tried to kidnap them and has murdered Sophie Mall. So because of his guilt and the traumatizing event or incident of his life, he has stopped talking. Okay. So Rahil says that the way his room is clean, it is a very positive sign. It is a sign that he has something positive in his life. Okay. The only faint suggestion that he had perhaps some design for life, just the whisper of an unwillingness to subsist on scraps offered by others. On the wall by the window, an iron stood on an ironing board. A pile of folded, crumpled clothes waited to be ironed. Now, from here, we come to know that Esta has come to, and what is the condition of Esta? He is mentally very much disturbed, and he has not talked, even he has not uttered a single word to his sister, Rahil too. Okay. Now we will move to the next chapter that is titled Abhilash Talkies. Okay. Is this chapter 3 clear to you girls? It is only about Baby Kuchama, their house, and then Esta and Rahil. I hope it is clear to you. So we will move to chapter 4 now. And Abhilash Talkies, I told you it was the cinema where they have gone to watch a movie. Okay. So the writer is telling us Abhilash Talkies advertised itself as the first cinema hall in Kerala with a 70 mm CinemaScope screen. So Abhilash Talkies is kind of the first cinema in Kerala. Okay. To drive home the point is Fakid had been designed as a cement replica of a curved CinemaScope screen. On top, cement writing, neon lighting, it said Abhilash Talkies in English and Malayalam, because the language of the local language of that place is Malayalam. So one thing again, you can notice the national language of India is Hindi, okay, which is very much similar to Urdu. But you can see that in this province, instead of Hindi, what is more preferred, that is English. Malayalam, of course, is their own native language, but what is preferred more is English. This is again another glimpse of colonialism. Now she's saying the toilets were called his and hers. Hers for Amu, Rahil, and baby Kuchama. His for Esther alone because Cheku had gone to see about the bookings at the Hotel Sea Queen. Now, why have they come to Abhilash Talkies? Not because they only want to watch a movie. In fact, they are on their way to receive Sophie Mall and Marguerite, okay? On their way, they are watching a movie too in here. So they have attended the washrooms. Writer is showing us the local scenario that what were the washrooms titled as his and hers. His for men and hers for female. So Amu is worried that Esta is alone to attend his washroom. So she's asking him that, will you be okay? Amu said, worried. Esta nodded. Esta nodded, okay. So he is going to be okay. And then there is the whole story that talks about Rahil as baby Kuchama and Amu attending the washroom. And Rahil, when she thinks of the old days, she feels that it was the only time when she, Amu, and baby Kuchama felt a kind of harmony in their relationship. Otherwise, baby Kuchama was always very rude to them, not only to the kids, but she was also rude to Amu as well, okay? Okay, now you can see my screen, girls, right? Is it visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I told you that how yesterday we have already discussed that how Esta was singing songs because he was very much excited for the movie and for the travel. and for everything that he's going through, okay? So he was loudly singing songs inside the cinema. So the mother has asked him to go and wait in the lobby. So when he has gone out, he found this orange drink, lemon drink man, okay? So let's see what happens to him then. The orange drink, lemon drink man said, "Look, this is my resting time. Soon I'll have to wake up and work, so I can't have you singing English songs here. Stop it." His gold wristwatch was almost hidden by his curly forearm hair. His gold chain was almost hidden by his chest hair. His white Caroline's shirt was unbuttoned to where the swell of his belly began. He looked like an unfriendly, jeweled bear. Behind him, there were mirrors for people to look at themselves in while they bought cold drinks and refreshments, to reorganize their puffs and settle their buns. The mirrors watched Esther. "I could file a written complaint against you," the man said to Esther. "How would you like that? A written complaint?" Esther stopped singing and got up to go back in. "Now that I am up," the lemon drink man said, "now that you have woken me up from my resting time, now that you have disturbed me, at least come and have a drink. It's the least you can do." So he is offering him a drink now, okay? He had an unshaven, jolly face, his teeth like yellow piano keys, watched little Elvis the pelvis. "No, thank you," Elvis said politely. "My family will be expecting me, and I have finished my pocket money." So Esther is saying that I do not want to have a drink because I need to go to my family because the movie is going to get start. And also I do not have any more money because I have already finished with my pocket money. "Pocket, mummy?" the orange drink, lemon drink man said with his teeth still watching. Remember that this man is a local of Kerala. Okay. So even Esther singing English songs is something very much irritating for him because he's not very much aware of, he's not very good at English language. Okay. And now even this pocket money thing is something very amazing for him. So he's saying, "Pocket money," the lemon drink man said with his teeth still watching. "First English songs and now pocket money. Where do you live? On the moon?" Like, from here also we can come to know anyone who has pocket money and singing English songs is specifically singing English songs is a symbol of superiority. So having high status in the society, okay? So that is why this man is asking him that you sing English songs and now you're talking about the little one is talking about a pocket money. So have you come from the moon? It seems as if you doesn't seem someone of the earth. Okay. Someone of the earth means someone not from them, not from the locals, not like them. Esther turned to go. "Wait a minute," the lemon drink man said sharply. "Just a minute." He said again, more gently, "I thought I asked you a question." Now, by asking him questions, he gives forcefully, he offers him glass of drink, okay? And then he molests him too, okay? He physically abuses him. And because of that, as I told you yesterday as well, that Esther is traumatized. When he goes back to his mother, Amu is watching the movie and Esther is all pale and he feels like vomiting. Okay, he tells Amu that I'm going to vomit. So Amu takes him to the washroom. Please put your microphones on mute. Everyone in the class, please put your microphones on mute. Whose sound is this coming into my ears because I have these headphones on? Please. Okay. So Esther asks his mother to take him to the washroom. he goes to the washroom, so it is not. And on the way, when they come back from the washroom, the mother tells him, now you need a fresh glass of juice, okay? So she takes him again back to the orange and lemon drink man, okay? And then this man again, with his words, he tries to threaten him. The mother tells the man that my son is not feeling well. I want a juice for him. And the man says, yes, your son has talked to me. I know that you are from Iminam, and my wife's family is also from Iminam, and I know that you are from an elite class because you own a factory. And he just takes the name of the factory too. So by saying all these things, he is like giving signs to Esther that he's not going to reveal anything to his mother. Okay. Later on, then baby Kuchama and Rahil joins them as well. And then this man, he says, oh, he says to Amu, I did not know that you have a daughter too. And then he tells Rahil that come here, please. I want to give you a drink too. So Esther is so very much scared that he tells Rahil that come here, I will give you my drink. Please don't go there. So Rahil feels something, okay? She knows that something has happened to Esther, okay? But the mother, she is not aware. She cannot even judge that something is wrong with her son, okay? Okay, while buying these drinks from him, one thing which is very much, again, important is that Amu tells that man that we are here to go to the airport to receive our niece who is coming from England, and she is a white. Now, this thing, they felt that the whole expression of this man's face have changed. He becomes very, very much impressed, as if someone, very good is coming, a godlike figure is coming, okay? Let me just read the lines for you. I just highlighted the lines for you, probably here. Okay, so the whole expression is changed. Why do you think the whole expression is changed? Because you remember we discussed that day hegemony. Hegemony is something I told you that with the consent, with your own consent, with his own consent, an individual gives this opportunity to someone to rule him. Okay. So we find this thing in here in these all characters, not only in orange drink, lemon drink man, but in all these characters, So when he became very much impressed is the thing that he feels that his own native culture is, it is inferior, and the culture of the West is very much superior. That is the only reason that he is feeling very much impressed. Otherwise, there is no such reason to be impressed of Sophie Mall, who he has not even seen. Okay, so he shows a kind of impression that he is very much impressed. I'm not finding the lines. It is here somewhere, right? You can find it in the Orange Man, this Abhilash talkies. Okay. The reaction of this orange man, lemon drink man. Okay, now we move to the next chapter where we find that they finally meet Sophie Mall. Okay. So the title of this chapter is God's Own Country. What do you understand by this title, God's Own Country? Anyone from the class?
मैम जो सोफी है ना इस टाइम वो उनके लिए गॉड की तरह है, और जब
Yes,
वो
does anyone
मतलब
from the
एमिनम
class?
आती है ना।
No
हेलो
response?
मैम, मैं आई।
Okay, so Rahil has come back. This is again, I told you the story is moving in the past and then in the present. Okay, so again, it has come back to the present where Rahil has just come back to Aymenam. Okay, and she has returned to the river. You remember I told you the river where Sophie Mall has drowned. Okay, So she's saying years later, when Rahil returned to the river, it greeted her with a ghastly skull's smile. So with this personified image of the river, the writer is telling us that it has said hello to Rahil, with holes where teeth had begun and a limp hand raised from a hospital bed. Both things had happened. It had shrunk and she had grown. Who had grown? Now it seems as if the river has shrunk and Rahil has grown. Okay, so the river doesn't fascinate her as it used to fascinate her when she was a little kid. Now they are, after this incident of Abhilash Talkies Cinema, they are now going to the airport to receive Marguerite and Sophie Maul. It is in chapter 6, girls, okay? It is the airport. Airport is titled as Cochin Airport. And they are very much, well dressed, okay? Because they are waiting for Sophie Mall and waiting for Marguerite. So Rahil's new knickers were polka dotted and still crisp. Now, this thing is very much important, and it is again something that is a post-colonial thing. It's a post-colonial theme. The writer says the rehearsals had been rehearsed. Which rehearsals? That how these kids are going to greet Sophie Mall and Marguerite. So they are so very much impressed that they are even rehearsing the greeting sentences. Okay. It was the day of the play. Now they have done a lot of rehearsal. This is the final day to perform what they have learned through rehearsals. The culmination of the What Will Sophie Mall Think week. So on each and every gesture that these kids do, okay, baby Kuchama tells them, what will Sophie Mall think if you do this in front of her? Okay. So now this is the week. The week has arrived when Sophie Mall has come. All of them are dressed neatly and English ways. Okay. All of them are dressed in English ways. And our writer tells us that baby Kuchama, all of a sudden, her accent has changed, okay? She is talking into a pure English accent, okay? And then baby Kuchama is telling them, don't forget that you are ambassadors of India. She is pressurizing these two kids, okay? So this pressure is kind of, it is a kind of torture for them. She's telling them, you are ambassadors of India. Told Rahil and Esther, you are going to form their first impression of your country. So they are going to get the impression of the whole country from these two kids, okay? They already, we know that they already have a very good impression of the country because Marguerite has already, she got married to Cheku, and she knows what kind of culture, language, and customs the Indians have. So the writer is ironically saying two egg twin ambassadors, their excellencies Ambassador E. Elvis Pelvis and Ambassador Stick Insect. Okay. So now we know that these two are more tortured because baby Kuchama has put a little more burden on their shoulders by telling them that the first impression they are going to get of India from you, so you have to behave. You are the ambassadors, okay? And ambassadors, since we know that here in this scene, they are just 7. Both of them are just 7 years old. So they are behaving, like they are fighting with each other. They are talking with a sign language, okay? There is a non-verbal communication going between both the siblings, okay? So there comes Sophie Mall. After getting everything done, she comes out, okay? And with her luggage and with her mother, okay? Then there among the wash and wear suits and shiny suitcase, Sophie Mall. Thimble Drinkle, coffin cartwheeler. She walked down the runway, the smell of London in her hair. Yellow bottoms of bells flapped backwards around her ankles. Long hair floated out from under her straw hat, one hand in her mother's, the other swinging like a soldier's. Left, 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 right, left. There was a girl, tall and thin and fair, her hair. Her hair was the delicate coloring. Ginger left, left, right. There was a girl. Marguerite Kuchama told her to stop. So she stopped. Amu said, "Can you see her, Rahil?" She turned around to find her crisp-knickered daughter communing with cement. Mercifulness, she went and fetched her, scolding. Cheku said that he could not take Rahil on his shoulders because he was already carrying something, 2 roses. Now Cheku is carrying 2 roses in his hands, one for his ex-wife and the other one for his daughter. And he's saying, now look at Cheku's attitude, okay? He is also feeling very, very proud because his wife and his daughter is from England, okay? So he is feeling like a king among all these people only because he has a white wife, okay? So he says, "Hello, ladies," Cheku said in his reading aloud voice. Last night's voice in which he said, "Love, madness, hope, infinite joy." And how was your journey? And the air was full of thoughts and things to say. But at times like these, only the small things are ever said. The big things lurk unsaid inside. Say hello and how do you do? Marguerite Kuchama said to Sophie Mall. Hello and how do you do? Sophie Mall said through the iron railing to everyone in particular. Okay. So whatever instructions are coming from the mother, Sophie Mall is just taking those instructions and behaving in that manner. Okay. And yes, I'm reading here. Marguerite Kuchama smiled and waved her rose at him. Ex-wife Cheku, her lips formed the words, though her voice never spoke them. Anybody could see that Cheku was a proud and happy man to have had a wife like Marguerite White, in a flowered, printed frock with legs underneath, and brown black freckles on her back, and arm freckles on her arms. Now he is feeling very, very much proud of his ex-wife. Okay. So these all things are the things that show us that how colonialism has affected the natives. Okay. Okay, now here baby Kuchama just bombarded the little baby Sophie Mall with a lot of questions. Okay, she says, baby Kuchama said in a strange new British accent, just ignore him. And then she asks, okay, baby Kuchama said, "Hello, Marguerite, and hello, Sophie Mall." She said Sophie Mall was so beautiful that she reminded her of a wood sprit of Ariel. Now, Ariel is a character which is used by English writers in different books, like in Rape of the Lock, and then also Shakespearean play Hamlet. So she tells Sophie Mall that you are just looking like Ariel, and then she asks her, Ariel in the Tempest, "Do you know who Ariel was?" Baby Kuchama asked Sophie Mall, and Sophie Mall said she did not. Then she said, okay, and then she is taking different lines from different English books and asking Sophie Mall that, do you know the Ariel from this book, the Ariel from that book? But Sophie Mall, she doesn't know about any of the Ariels. So simply, why is she asking Sophie Mall these questions? Because she wants to give an impression to Marguerite that she is more English than Marguerite herself. Okay, did you get the point? She just wants to show her that she has adopted all the Englishness in a perfect way, okay? That she knows all the English books, she knows all the English characters, and she has a very perfect British accent. Okay, girls, so that is all for today. Our time, the remaining time is just 1 minute. Okay. I am going to send you now an article. And I told you the article that I talked about yesterday, where the post-colonial themes are discussed as well. So for the next class, what you need to do is to go through that article and highlight the main points, and we will discuss the article in our class. Okay, so do you have any questions for today? Yes, girls,
No, ma'am.
any questions, please?
No, ma'am.
No questions, girls?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll see you inshallah next week. Now we are going to have our next class inshallah next week.